Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, January 3, 2022. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says 2022, which marks the country's 60th year of independence, will be used to start the process of redefining our state as a republic. Mr. Holness says in light of this, the time has come to reflect on our performance as a nation, assess our strengths and weaknesses, rekindle our dreams and aspirations, ignite passion and zeal to realize our true destiny as a people.
We must resolve to ensure that the republic we will create will substantively improve the well-being and secure the freedom and prosperity of every citizen. The task for the 60th, therefore, must be to set the Jamaican Republic on a path where it can actually deliver for its citizens.
Mr. Holness was addressing the nation during his New Year's Day message. According to the Prime Minister, Jamaica has struggled throughout much of its independent history, with GDP per capita at the same level as it was in 1970. This he attributed to external shocks and internal institutional weaknesses.
However, in the last decade, we have embarked on an important exercise in building a strong nation. That is, having a robust, prudent, and resilient fiscal and monetary system.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Holness says as a result of government's careful fiscal management, it was able to provide substantial resources to the COVID-19 recovery effort. Mr. Holness says reallocation within the budget last year saw over $100 billion of social protection and recovery support being delivered without increase in borrowing.
I understand that for some listening, this may seem like not a big deal. However, in the past, shocks such as a storm or commodity price shocks as we experienced in the 1970s and 80s, or a global financial recession as we experienced in 2009, would have precipitated major economic crises with long recovery periods.
Prime Minister Holness says the International Monetary Fund's recent observation on Jamaica indicates that, unlike in the past, the pandemic-related shock was not followed by a fiscal, financial, or balance of payments crisis.
This is a solid testament of the maturing of our economic management, the deepening of our institutions, and how far we have progressed in our quest for economic independence. This solid fiscal platform underpins the strong recovery that we are already seeing.
The Airports Authority of Jamaica, AAJ, has set aside funds to end the continuous flooding of the Tinson Pen Aerodrome and a section of the Marcus Garvey Drive in St. Andrew. According to Minister of Transport and Mining Robert Montague, the AAJ's engineering department did a study on the area and discovered that a major drain is blocked.
So we have engaged the National Works Agency to give us an estimate because we would want to clear that during the next dry period as soon as this rainy period is ended, so that we can alleviate the discomfort of our tenants.
Minister Montague says whenever flooding occurs in the area, all tenants at the Tinson Pen facility are affected and a budget is in place for the project.
We are waiting on the NAA, who will be giving their engineering advice and estimates. As soon as we have that in hand and we do the procurement, we will move to clear that.
Minister Montague was speaking while on a tour of the Tinson Pen-based Aeronautical School of the West Indies, ASWI, in St. Andrew last Wednesday. Approximately 82,000 public passenger vehicle PPV operators and drivers in the commercial sector now have access to a $13 million online training app. The app, which was launched last week, will facilitate training through a gamified format in the use of the road code, defensive driving, and customer service for the operators. While speaking at the launch, Transport Minister Robert Montague said the app will be circulated among industry stakeholders, ministry agencies, Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, PPV industry bodies, and driving schools. This is part of the move to improve driver competence and safety on the roads.
Our aim is that we must reduce road fatalities in Jamaica. We have decided to change how we treat with road safety. So the development of a training app is one aspect within the wider picture.
For the rollout of the app, the ministry provided $3 million and the British Caribbean insurance company, BCIC, provided the remaining sum under a private-public partnership. The driver training app, which can be accessed at tappvtrain.com, was developed by Edufocal Limited and forms part of the Ministry of Transport's 16-point proposal for the sector. And finally, the latest addition to the fleet of the Jamaica Defense Force has been named and commissioned. Her Majesty's Jamaican ship, Alexander Bustamante, will operate with a crew of 17 and will be employed in fulfilling the traditional roles of the 2nd District JDF Coast Guard. These include search and rescue, fisheries protection, maritime law enforcement, marine environmental pollution control, coastal surveillance, and anti-smuggling and drug interdiction. In his address at the ceremony last week, National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang said the government is committed to investing in the expansion of offshore patrol vessels.
These maritime assets will facilitate Jamaica defense and the protection of our interests in the maritime domain through enhanced maritime domain awareness and response capabilities.
Dr. Chang says Jamaica's national interests and international obligations within the maritime space cover over 500,000 square kilometers. The National Security Minister said the country's maritime security environment continues to be characterized by traditional, non-traditional, and emerging threats.
Given the growing influence of transnational threat networks, particularly illicit drugs and arms traffickers, which is a clear and present danger to the stability of society, the emergence of new trafficking routes by traffickers engaged in contraband and human trafficking, illicit migration, and illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, we must strengthen the Jamaica Defense Force's capability to monitor and safeguard our maritime areas of responsibility, which includes the maritime border of the country and the wider oceans around us.
Dr. Chang emphasized the protection of Jamaica's maritime space as an imperative for national security and sustainable development. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.